You know, I've heard a lot of people say that Slytherins and Gryffindors don't get along, but I think, in my personal experience, that that is just not true, okay? Because I know plenty of Gryffindors, and you guys are all great fiends, friends. Hey, it's Liz, and it's Monday, and I'm just teasing you guys. Gryffindors, I love you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. You guys are great. I'm pretty sure my best friend is actually a Gryffindor. I don't know. Swigata, are you a Gryffindor? Now, as I have been talking for the last 3 weeks, about which you can check out up here in case you've missed it, are the 4 Hogwarts houses and why each of them individually are amazing. I started out with Hufflepuffs because, you know, Hufflepuffs, and then I went on to Slytherins because I am a Slytherin. Last week we talked about Ravenclaws, but this week we're finally getting to you guys, Gryffindors. I wanted to put you guys last only because you guys are so prevalent in the books that I feel like it's kind of common sense. People know that Gryffindors are pretty freaking awesome, but that does not mean that you don't deserve to be appreciated. Everyone knows the Gryffindor traits, which I feel like is probably why there are so few articles on the internet in comparison to the other 3 houses. Gryffindors are known for being brave and courageous, chivalrous, daring, at times reckless, and possibly having a short temper. But the main thing that you guys are is brave, and it's like, okay, bravery can mean a lot of things. So while I feel like we all tend to have this sort of knight in shining armor cutout version of what a Gryffindor looks like, I kind of wonder how that happened, because the main character in Harry Potter is a Gryffindor, and Harry doesn't really fit that knight in shining armor. A lot of people will say that because he was on the verge of Slytherin or Gryffindor, he belonged in Slytherin, and while I would have been all for a Slytherin-based series, that was not the point of the books. I actually would argue that Harry did belong in Gryffindor, and this is probably why a lot of you belong in Gryffindor who get sorted as such. The thing about bravery is that it's not always being like, yes, I'm going to go do this thing and slay this dragon and blah blah blah. It's not always like that. Sometimes bravery is, I'm going to make friends with someone despite the fact that I've literally been abused my entire life. Which is what Harry did when he showed up at Hogwarts. He was like, yeah, okay, wizard school, that's neat. I'm gonna make friends with this Ron Weasley dude because we talked to each other. I admire that, because to me that did take bravery, that did take courage, and I think that a lot of Gryffindors don't necessarily have the traditional bravery. It's bravery in some other way. Sometimes it's bravery to stand up for what you believe in, and sometimes it's bravery to talk about things you never thought you'd be comfortable talking about so that it could possibly help someone else. Gryffindors are like the classic definition of what a hero is. And that makes you guys, yes, susceptible to making some bad decisions, and sometimes you are heroic without caution, and you will self-sacrifice in a situation where some other thing could have very easily been arranged. But you're willing to go that far, and not a lot of people are. As far as friendship goes, I think that the few Gryffindors I am friends with, I had the hardest time talking to at first. I don't know why. And it's funny, because it's literally just them. I think I only know 2. And they were the ones who were constantly talking to me and trying to get me to like, hey, you guys are incredibly persistent, to say the very least, and I would not have some of the best friends that I have today were it not for that persistence. Gryffindors are awesome because you guys are like, I don't know, you guys take being in this hero house and then you redefine what it means to be a hero. I mean, a lot of Gryffindors think that they belong in another house. I mean, you take Harry, who, as I've said, some of the fandom may believe belonged in Slytherin, but he ended up in Gryffindor, or even Hermione, who was put in Gryffindor despite showing some very obvious Ravenclaw traits. I don't really know if I have like a whole long serious thing, because I think that people who get sorted into Gryffindor probably don't have a very big problem with the fact that they were just sorted into Gryffindor. But for the rest of us who are not Gryffindors, I think sometimes we get so fiercely loyal and attached with our own houses and whatever house we happen to like second best, which almost always is Hufflepuff. I feel like sometimes we get a little bit bitter towards Gryffindors as like a concept, which isn't good either, because first of all, IRL Gryffindors have like no fault for what goes on with Gryffindors in the books, because we're all so confident that people who get sorted into Gryffindor are okay with being Gryffindors, that we forget to be like, hey, you guys are neat too. So this is a really long way of me saying, hey, you guys are neat too. A couple of my personal favorite Gryffindors are, first of all, Minerva McGonagall. Hello, my queen. I adore her. Need I say more? She's literally the only character who has it together in the entire series. I appreciate her. I love her. Yes, beautiful. Life was forever changed. Just. And the other character that I love with my entire heart, I won't get too much into like the Golden Trio, which is an obvious one, or Neville, another obvious one. I shouldn't go into the Marauders, because that's another obvious one, but I have soft spots in my heart for Remus Lupin and Sirius Black. They are... I love them. I love them so much, but I won't go super far into, you know. The first real-life example that just keeps coming to mind, you're never gonna guess who it is Dan Howell, who says that he was originally sorted into Slytherin, which doesn't surprise me about his younger self, and then was later sorted into Gryffindor. Obviously, with real people, you can only like make observations and inferences based on what they give you of their personality, but to me, stuff like his video Daniel and Depression and, you know, being more open about the discussion of mental health and all of that stuff, that classifies him, in my eyes, as a hero, because how many people are going to watch those videos and now are going to try to take better steps in taking care of themselves and their mental health? And I say that from personal experience, because his videos saved my life as it was, and then those videos just reminded me to keep living. As I said, my best friend, Swigeta, whom I dearly love, like, girl, what would I do without you? Gryffindors are awesome. Like, overhyped sometimes, and don't deserve half of the things that Dumbledore does for them, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you guys are still pretty neat. You are amazing friends. You are the people who would die for your friends. Sometimes clashing personalities end up being extremely complementary personalities, and I have found that in the few Gryffindors that I do know personally that I've become friends with throughout the years, like, I could not have asked for better friends. Like, you have Hufflepuffs who are loyal and supportive and accepting and kind, and you have Ravenclaws who push you to be better and will always, you know, give you, and will always help you to understand things, and you learn things from having conversations with. You have Slytherins, and we are, I don't know, I guess we're probably good friends for some reason, but when it comes to Gryffindors, there's just something about befriending a Gryffindor. There's something about the personality. It makes you never want to let go. This was kind of a hard video to make, and I think it's because I don't feel well. Because I did have a lot in my head that I wanted to say, but because there was so little that I could actually find on Gryffindors, which you'll see the one that I do have linked in the description box, and I am so far from being a Gryffindor that I only have, like, these little bit of notes. That's it. That's what I was working with for this video. So I hope that you feel appreciated and warm, because I want you to feel that way. I think that everyone deserves to feel that way. It's freaking wizard school, and we are lucky enough to have a system that tells us where we would fit in were we in that universe. And honestly, no matter which of the 4 houses you happen to fit in with, be proud of it, and completely own it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and per the usual, leave a comment below if you have something more to add, because I am honestly not very good at articulating how I feel, especially when I have so few notes. I should have written down the things that were in my own head as opposed to just what I was doing for the other houses. I don't know why I didn't. I still hope that you all feel appreciated, though. You can follow me in the links in the description box below, as well as check out the one link that I will have down there. Be a bro, share this video with another bro, and if you have not done so yet, subscribe, because while this is the end of my Harry Potter series for the month, I still make new videos every Monday.